Check 1, 2.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. As we start Shabbat, we are also closing Hanukkah. There's a tradition on Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, that when Shabbat ends, that you try to extend it. It's a tradition called Malave Malka, that you extend the royal feeling of what Shabbat means. And so people often will sing songs and have an extra meal and extend the joy of Shabbat into Saturday evening. And I thought, as we were planning months ago, Canner and I were talking about what we could do on this evening. And we want to extend Hanukkah a little bit. So even though Hanukkah has ended, tonight we want to extend the light of Hanukkah, especially for our adults. As last week we had more of a family celebration, this week we offer this lighter night of Hanukkah, a night focused on joy and happiness, on laughter. And so we have a slightly abbreviated service, because after our service we'll take a quick intermission and then have a new comedy club, our Temple Israel Virtual Comedy Cafe, that we'll unveil for the first time for your enjoyment on this Shabbat evening as we extend Hanukkah into Shabbat. We'll focus this Shabbat on joy and happiness, on allowing the world to take a second seat to the joy of Shabbat. And so I want to begin with these words as we gather our candles around, words written by Alden Solovey, our prayer for joy. God, thank you for joy and delight, for wonder and awe, for moments of gladness and celebration. Grant us the ability to breathe gentleness into our hours and into these seasons, so that we live awake to beauty and to holiness, to the radiance that surrounds us. Grant us the wisdom to arrive every day with passion and humor, with song and dance, with smiling eyes in service to myself, to each other, and to your holy name. We'll begin Shabbat with the blessing over our candles, page 2 and 3 in our prayer books.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We walk back through our week, a week in which we counted every night, adding light, and we bring that light into this moment as we welcome Shabbat with the words of Lecha Dodi. They're found on page 20 in our prayer books if you're following along. So we welcome Shabbat into our sanctuary and into our homes.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamur v'zachur b'dibur echad. Hishmianu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad. Shemo echad. L'shemo vitvevet belitila. Lecha dodi likra kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likra kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechuven elcha. Kim makor habaracha. Merosh mikedem nasucha. Sof ma'aseh v'mashka b'tchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, kiva orek uri, shirdaberi, kevod Adonai ala giktila. Lecha dodi likra kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likra kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise and face the entrance to your home. Bo'i v'shalom ateret bala. Gam b'simcha u'sochola. Toch emuneh hamsegula. Bo'i chala. Lecha dodi likra kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela.
When we hear the name Anne Frank, we don't often think of the better days in human history, but she writes, and often I find her writing is so optimistic, so eye-opening to what we should be focusing on. She wrote, telling of her days, of what she was experiencing in her diary. In one entry, she says, the radio goes on early in the morning and is listened to at all hours of the day until 9, 10, or 11 o'clock in the evening. This is certainly a sign, she says, that the grown-ups have infinite patience, but also that the power of absorption of their brains perhaps is pretty limited, she says. 1 or 2 news bulletins would be ample per day. But, you know, the old geese, well, I've said my piece, she says. How often have we turned the news on for far too long, not on our radio anymore, but now on our television or our phone? In these days of constant news cycles and constant changes, we obsess. And so let's make this Shabbat a break from that obsession, a moment to step away, as we did this past week with Hanukkah, to focus on the lights of our candles, to focus on laughter, to focus on joy. So we invite you to stand with us as we turn towards Shabbat, turn the news off, and allow ourselves to bring joy into this week. Page 28 is our Baruch Hu.
Lai la lai 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 lai. Lai la lai 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 lai. Lai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being and skillfully opens the gates, who thoughtfully alters time and changes these seasons, arranging the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv, Aravim. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. The more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruchim, Kivod Malachuto, Leolam Vaed.
Francine Klagsbrunn wrote about the Fourth Amendment, the Fourth Commandment. The freedom of Shabbat comes from the potential it holds to control time, perhaps the most far-reaching form of freedom anyone can experience. It offers a day when instead of fighting time, we luxuriate in it. Instead of feeling chained to a routine, we may break loose and breathe freely. We turn now to the words of Michamocha, our prayer for freedom, to embrace the freedom of this moment. Page 40 in our prayer books.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar v'kodesh. Nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Malachutecha, Ra'uvanecha, Bokei Hayam, Lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Zelianu ve'amaru, Adonai imloch, Adonai imloch, Le'olam va'ed.
Page 44, Vishamru, let us guard this Shabbat.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asuf et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam v'rit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asuf et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam v'rit olam. Ki sheshet yamim Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'rit olam. U'vayom hashvi'i Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash, Shabbat v'yinafash v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asut et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'rit olam. Please rise and face east for our Amidah, our most personal prayers. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Zara, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא, אל העליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחכה חיים בחסד, בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, זומך נופלים ורפא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך, מלך נמית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
A few years ago, you can be seated if you would like, by the way. A few years ago, as Carrie and I were shopping for Hanukkah presents for our children, she saw in a gift shop a little bag of rocks. Some would call them gems. I called them rocks. And she insisted that our son would love this as his most treasured Hanukkah gift, to which I argued we cannot possibly give our child rocks for their Hanukkah present. As is usually the case, she won the argument. She gave our son a bag of rocks, and he burst out in excitement when he opened them. Nothing could be more cherished by looking at his face. Bette Midler once wrote that we should make sure that our life is filled with rare entertainment, she called it. She says it doesn't take anything drastic. You needn't be gorgeous or wealthy or smart, even just very enthusiastic. For those of us who have kids, at least for my family this past week, during Hanukkah, we are so often reminded of this fact. This year, it wasn't rocks. This year, as Carrie and I planned each night with a gift, a book, something to make the evening special, we would both tell you that especially for our boys, they were excited about each gift, and they were equally as excited about the cardboard boxes that all the gifts came in from Amazon, as they insisted on keeping all of the boxes to build things, to make forts in the basement. The enthusiasm was overwhelming, and that is what makes us wealthy, as Midler said. And so let's find our enthusiasm. Let's not take it for granted. Let's build it this Shabbat. Let's be excited about rocks and boxes and joy that comes to us by sharing in Shabbat with others, by finding friends through Zoom, the little things that we are in awe of at this time of year. Let us find that enthusiasm. Focus on it now as we take a moment to allow that joy and enthusiasm, the simple things in life, to bring us a sense of peace. We take a moment for our own personal prayers. We pray silently.
Ose shalom bimroma, Yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru Amen. Ose shalom bimroma, Yaseh shalom Amen.
Take a moment now to focus on those whom we know and love who are in need of being known and loved as they find that they are suffering in this moment, whether they're directly suffering from COVID, whether the ripple effects of this pandemic are making their illness worse, their doctors and nurses further away, their family even further. Whatever suffering our friends are facing, we offer this prayer of Misha Berach and invite you to post their names into the chat if you would like, or to say their names aloud in your home so that their names can be a part of this prayer. Page 253.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Makor HaBracha Laimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Makor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Page 282, we invite you to rise for our Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tekedu la'liotzer v'reshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu.
Adonai our God, how soon we hope to behold the perfection of our world, guided by a sacred covenant drawn from human and divine meeting. We turn now to those whom we remember in this moment, many whom we've lost in these last weeks far too soon, many who were cared for, some who lived into their 90s and had the joy of watching their children care for them, and some who died far too young and whom we regret the years that we will miss. As we know, it's a fearful thing to love what death can touch, and therefore we know that we have extended ourselves by loving someone and opened ourselves up to the fact that we could lose them. This week, we remember those lost recently to families in our community: Shirley Cohen, Julie Sturman, Paul Schweibel, Shirley Letterman, Jack Kent, and Marvin Wolfson. We add to their names those that we've lost this season and years past: Dr. Ruth Aronson, Rosalind Perlich Bear, Regina Beck, Maren Schweibel-Bean, Anna Blanche Cartwright, Gertrude Cohen, Sippa Simmerman, Max Simmerman, Irene Leaner Farkas, Samuel Fetterman, Saul Foreman, Louis J. Friedman, Dorothy Goldman, Anna Green, Lillian Sweedler Gross, George Holzel, Gertrude E. Kahn, Leona S. Kirshner, Eileen Klein, Alan Lewis, Raleigh C. Marks, Ida Moorstein, Lillian Nyman, George Noble, E. Rosenfeld, Dr. Lewis Ross, Lillian Sass, Saul Schlitt, Esther Schulman, Jerry Shapiro, Kenneth Allen Silver, Joseph Tzvi Singer, Morris Steinberg, Irving B. Sugarman, Bennett Titleman, Samuel Tuckman, Celia Tuckman, Esther Winnick Vander, Estelle Waingar, Neil Waldman, Alexander Williger, and Betty Wilson. If there are names you'd like to add to our yahrzeit list, please feel free to share those names aloud. As we turn to page 294, we invite you to rise if you would like, as we share the words of Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah. Bi'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael b'agala uv'izman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Shemei dekudasha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechamata damiran bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world as we say, Amen. And now we invite you to stretch your arms out, to reach out to those who are near you, whether they are physically near you or whether they're spiritually near you, as you think about them in this moment, as we bless them with the words of the priests. May God bless you and keep you. May God's presence be with you and be gracious unto you. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace. We'll raise our glass now as we'll bless the Shabbat with the words of Kiddush found on page 4 and 5, followed by a blessing over our challah with the words of Motzi. Please feel free to join with us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav aratavanu v'shabbat kodeshu b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'masi v'reishit ki hu yom techila למקרא הקודש זכר לציית מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הכלתנו Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. We invite you now to sit back, to relax. We're going to take a moment for a brief intermission. We have some wonderful music that we will share with you from Jacob Spike Krause, who I think last year wrote a Hanukkah album to sound like Christmas jingles. And so it's a wonderful winter holiday album, but it's with our people's music and words. So it continues the celebration of our Festival of Lights and of this season. So you'll hear the music of Jacob Spike Krause. You'll then have a moment, if you can get your cocktail ready, if you read yesterday's email and saw the recipe of this week, is a very special themed drink for this evening. We have a very special bartender. Our house bartender will lead you through mixing that drink. and you'll see the pictures from our photography small groups. And then in just a few minutes, you'll see that our Temple Israel virtual comedy cafe will begin, as will be led by our MC, Brian Fox, and then get to hear the comedy of renowned comedian Marcia Belsky. So happy holidays to everybody. We hope you had a wonderful Hanukkah, a Shabbat Shalom, and we look forward to smiling and having a healthy year ahead as we look toward 2021. We hope you enjoy our comedy cafe, and we hope we can smile throughout this Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
It's starting to feel like that time again. Short days, cold nights, holding tight to family and friends. It's starting to snow, and if you just sit tight, you'll be seeing those lights in the window. The oil in the pan, it's starting to fry, and the smell from the kitchen starts drifting on by and tickles your nose. And if you just sit tight, you'll be seeing those lights in the window. Well, hearing the candles blaze, we got so many stories to share. So we're taking 8 days to celebrate the great miracle that happened there. You spilled a few gold coins all over the ground. Throw one in the middle, watch a dreidel spinning round and around, then tumble down slow. And if you just sit tight, you'll be seeing those lights in the window. The candles blaze, we got so many stories to share. So we're taking 8 days to celebrate the great miracle that happened there. Well, it might be too cold for a snow adventure, but your family's all around and spending time together. You're holding them close, and if you just sit tight, you'll be seeing those lights that'll light this world for 8 great nights. And if you just sit tight, you'll be seeing those lights in the window. Nes gadol hayasham, Nes gadol hayasham. I believe in the power of a little bit of light, and I believe the smallest among us can win the fight. I'm not afraid to show my faith still glows, and so everyone will know I put these lights inside my window to light up, light up, light up the night. Light up, light up, light up the night. 8 days of candles burning bright. Light up, light up, light up the night. people had to take a chance. The oil glowed. They lit one not knowing if it would last. They took a leap of faith with those dreams to chase. And so, although they could not know, that little light began to glow and light up, light up, light up the night. Light up, light up, light up the night. 8 days of candles burning bright. Light up, light up, light up the night. Now it's up to you, and I believe in you. It's true, I do, I truly do. So tell me truly, do you want to light up, light up, light up the night? Light up, light up, light up the night. 8 days of candles burning bright. Light up, light up, light up the night. I believe the power of a little bit of light. Light one for those who taught us not to be afraid. Light one for those who showed us how we could be brave. Light one more and light it for we have come to celebrate. Light one candle, Hanukkah is here. Light one for the miracle of candles in the dark. Light one for the people who became the fire spark. Light one more, light it for finding courage in your heart. Light one candle, Hanukkah is. We light these lights, we're keepers of the flame. Our sparks ignite, our past, our future, our link in the chain. We light these lights, they light the way. So shine your light, so shine your light. Light one for the moment when the temple was restored. Light one for the moment we could put away our swords. Light one more and light it for the world that we're still working towards. Light one candle, Hanukkah is. We light these lights, we're keepers of the flame. Our sparks ignite, our past, our future, our link in the chain. We light these lights, they light the way. So shine your light, so shine your light. Light one for the dreidel miracles as we watch them spinning around. Light one for the nace gadol, 'cause miracles abound. Light one more, light it for laughter, singing, happy sounds. Light one candle, Hanukkah is here.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I'm so excited for our upcoming comedy show. So you should have gotten the email with the ingredients for the menorah martini. So I'm going to teach you how to make it. So first, you get your martini glass, and you get a plate filled with water. So you dip the rim into the plate, and then put it in a plate of sugar. So you get a sugar rim. And it looks like that. Then you take blueberries and put them on a skewer and put that in your martini glass. Next, you take your shaker filled with ice and you put in your vodka and your sweet vermouth. And you shake it up and pour it into your martini glass. And to top it off, you put a splash of blue curacao. And voila. Cheers, everybody. So grab your martinis and grab a seat in your living room, and let's get ready for the show.
Temple Israel Akron's virtual comedy cafe. Woo, that's a mouthful. Tonight's event is the lighter side of Hanukkah. Hello, everyone. My name is Brian Rolnick Fox. I'll be your host and MC for this evening. Yes, your host and MC for this evening. How's my lighting? Do I look good? How's things? Okay, good. How's everybody doing tonight? Woo! Great crowd, great crowd. Yes, my name is Brian Rolnick Fox. Now, living on the East Coast, having a hyphenated name, well, that's woke, it's liberal, it's feminist. In the Midwest, it's just confusing. Yeah, every time I go to order a pizza, it's no. The name is Rolnick-Fox. What? No, it's not Rolnick-Fox. No. The dash is that little line that separates the two names. But Akron is still, it's a great place to live. Like any place, it's got its good, it's got its bad. The bad is not really good Thai food. The good, no traffic. It's kind of like that theme song from that TV show from the 80s, The Facts of Life. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. The facts of life, living in Akron. Okay, all right. Okay, guess not a lot of Facts of Life fans here tonight. Okay, but living in Akron actually for us Jews can be a little tough. Am I right? Yeah, I went to Giant Eagle and I asked, where's the kosher section? And the clerk just sort of pointed and grunted. And I walked around for hours, just like in circles, just weird. Finally, I asked another clerk, and he walked me over to a Dixie cup and a quarter slab of lox. Anyway, what's the deal with these Jewish acronyms, right? There's a transition for you. Every organization has an acronym, right? You got your JCBA, your JCC, JFS, JDC, AJC, JTA, TIA, JCRC, JFNA. Whew, it's exhausting. There's certain acronyms that just become names, like NIFTY or APAC. And then there's others that you definitely don't want to become a name, the acronym. Like, actually, think about Union for Reform Judaism, right? URJ. You don't want it to become urge. Hey, I went to the urge conference. It was a whole different meaning, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah. You know, I guess actually now that I think about it, you know, we're here tonight for the Temple Israel Akron's Virtual Comedy Cafe, which is hard to say, obviously. So I think we need like an acronym for it, like TIAVCC. Tiavis. Tiavis. It sort of sounds like a medicine for irritable bowel syndrome. Any IBS folks in the crowd? Anybody? Yeah, about 90%. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a Jewish crowd. Yeah, actually, I don't know about you, but I could use a little bit of Tiavis right now after all the Hanukkah latkes and the sufganiyot. Oh boy, Tiavis, you know what I'm saying? Hashtag lighter side of Hanukkah. Lighter side? Heavy side, if you know what I mean. Hashtag Tia Fam Jam. Anyway, speaking of Jewish organizations, you know, I hear the JCBA, that's the Jewish Community Board of Akron. Yes, the JCBA offers the J ticket for kids. It offers the silver J ticket for seniors. You know, the next program is it's for chocolate lovers. It's the J Golden ticket. You know, because Willy Wonka, gold ticket, chocolate. Yeah, actually, Willy Wonka is actually starting to produce a new product. Actually, it's called the Ronald Dahl Dazzler. He's the author. Yeah. Anyway, Ronald Dahl Dazzler. It's got bits of anti-Semitism in it. If you didn't get that, you can Google it. Anyway, we've got a good crowd tonight. Good crowd. You know, who's from Akron here? Who's from Akron? Everybody. Okay. Actually, you know, it's funny. Nobody ever wants to claim they're actually from Akron. Did you ever notice this? You know, we moved here 4 years ago, and everyone we meet says they're from somewhere else. You know, I talked to the one guy, and he's like, "Oh, no, I'm from Long Island." I'm like, "Oh, when did you move here?" 1962. And you were 2 years old? Oy. Anyway, folks, that's my time for tonight. Thank you so much. Oh, no, stop. Applause. Oh, my gosh, a standing ovation just for me? Whoa. You guys are too kind. Anyway, it's now my time to introduce our headliner, Marcia Belsky. Marcia, of course, in Akron, she's most famous for being the daughter of Kate Waits and Marty Belsky, and she's the sister and sister-in-law of Alan and Alex Belsky. That's right. But you know her in her own right as Marcia Belsky, the New York City-based stand-up comedian, writer, and musician. I said comedian twice. She's a double comedian. Actually, she co-wrote The Handmaid's Tale, the musical, which she co-wrote with Melissa Stotsky, and that played in New York City as well as in Washington, D.C. at the Kennedy Center's Terrace Theater. That's impressive. She recently had her musical featured on Comedy Central's The Talking Stage, and that included one of her songs called 100 Tampons, which was written about the first American woman in space, Sally Ride. Marcia's also been a guest on NPR's Marketplace, Radio Lab, and her writing has been featured in the New York Times, The Forward, and The Reductress. Now, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, here's Marcia!
Hello, Temple Israel, and happy Hanukkah to all of you. I hope you're having a great Hanukkah season. My name's Marcia Belsky. Some of you will know my family, the Belsky Waits family. Would like to shout out to my dad, Marty Belsky, my mom, Kate Waits, my brother, Alan, my sister-in-law, Alex, and my nephew, Ari Belsky, and my niece, Shoshana. I'm so happy to be here with all of you. If you know my family, you know that we grew up Jewish in Oklahoma, which is not the most fun I've ever had in my life. You know, they find out you're Jewish and they kind of start laying the bless yous on very thick after you sneeze, like, bless you, you know. And yeah, so now I live in New York and I've been doing comedy for about 10 years. So I'm going to do some of my songs for you guys. If you're interested in my stuff, you can look up, I have an album out called 100 Tampons, and I also just did a set for Comedy Central, and you can look that up on their YouTube. So I wanted to sing some songs. My first song is about dating. I wrote it before quarantine, but it's been very appropriate since. It's about modern dating and love and a sort of unique futuristic problem that is presented to some of us when we try and date in this modern world. I learned too much about you too soon because I couldn't wait. Yes, I internet stalked you to the point that we can no longer date. 'Cause I know your mother's name and your father's name and your sister's name and your cousin's husband's name. I know that your uncle recently passed away, and I'm so sorry about that, babe. I know every girl that you've ever dated, and the exact day you stopped being happy, your posture changed. I know that you and your friends hike a lot. It's too much. We'll change that. I've seen every photo tagged of you on the entire internet. I know you dropped out of college, but your Spanish is polished, and you own approximately 5 shirts. The police are outside my door, and I'm clutching your hair all I made on the floor. If they ever tell people how often other people look at their profiles, I will kill myself. So goodbye, lover, I start. That is based on a true story, because they're always telling people that they're going to tell you how often you're looking at other people's profiles, and I will simply die. I will simply die. This next one I'd like to dedicate to Kate Waits. This is also based on a true story, and I wrote this song for a clothing brand called Madewell. I did a little advertisement for them. So, oh no, my mom joined Instagram. Hold on real quick while I change everything I am. Oh no, she's commenting on a bikini photo from 8 years ago. You're so thirsty, Mom. Oh no, my mom joined Instagram. Doesn't she know the internet's my private sanctum? Oh no, she's responding to someone I hook up with sometimes. Yep, that's my beautiful girl. Oh, I love you, Mom. But in this one case, I need you to off. I blocked my mom on Instagram. She tried to control her thirst, but she can't. Until you can learn to be a gentleman, Mom, I'll see you on Facebook. Love you, Mom. Thank you for being a good sport about that. Parents are on Facebook only. I'm sorry. That's not my rule. That's just the rule. I wrote this next little ditty to sort of calm myself down when the news is getting to be too stressful and I'm too anxious. You know, global warming, I'm against it. Just a little about me. And then I realized after COVID hit that this could really be applied to any generation, not just millennials. So feel free to use this if you're feeling stressed. It just kind of helps. It's a little cathartic for me. Goes, because everyone hates our generation and we're all going to die. So it's a positive message. Speaking of, I, like everybody, can compare myself to others a lot. And I was sort of thinking, like, what do I want from that? You know, I wasn't really sure. And then it kind of hit me that there was something specifically that I was looking for in others. So I wrote a song about it. Everyone should be my exact same age, no older, no younger. Everyone is perfect in their own way, but younger people are bad. Yes, even slightly younger people are bad. Everyone should be my exact same age, no smarter, no dumber. Everyone should be born on the same day, and they should have the same mother. They should all be named Marsha, and they should look exactly like me. Everyone should be me. Yeah. Woo. Everyone should be my exact same age and no more successful. Your success actually does mean less for me, and that's disrespectful. Everyone just relax and give your success to me. Everyone should be me. When people don't understand my references, I freak out, I lose control. When you told me you were 22, I remembered that time forgets us all. Woo. Everyone should be my exact same age. Everyone should be my exact same age. Look under your chairs, there's a pill that I want you to take. Everyone should be my exact same age. Everyone should be. Everyone should be. Everyone should be. You know, I'm always so scared I'm not going to hit that last high note, but I always do. I always do. Yeah, a lot of people have compared me to Mariah Carey, and I'm so flattered by that. I really am. Yeah, I got it. Thank you guys again so much for having me, and I hope that you're having a great Hanukkah. I hope this is going well over Zoom. You know, I can't hear your laughs, but if you don't think I'm funny, just know that I'm normally very, very funny, and you know, you must just be in a bad mood. And if you like me, again, look up my stuff on Comedy Central, and I also have an album out, and the album is titled after this last song that I'm gonna do. And this song has been making its rounds on TikTok. There are a lot of people doing lip syncs to it. It's been really, really awesome to watch. And it is the true story about the first American woman to ever go to space, named Sally Ride. Remember when NASA sent a woman to space for only 6 days, and they gave her 100 tampons, 100 tampons. And they asked, will that be enough? 'Cause they didn't know if that was enough. These are our nation's greatest minds. They are literally rocket scientists. They also tied the tampons together by the strings like sausages. 100 tampons, 100 tampons. I can picture it now. Come with me. I'm Sally Ride and I'm going to space for the first time. I'm walking tall, I feel so proud. Then I see a man running panic through the crowd. He's holding a large bag. I think, what can this be? And then he hands 100 tampons to me. And then he hands 100 tampons to me for 1 week. They could have asked me, I would have said maybe 33. 'Cause even if it were my period week, I probably already brought some with me. But, you know, thanks, I guess. 100 tampons. How does she use a tampon when they tie the strings together? 100 tampons. Don't hate me. 525,600 tampons. 525,000 tampons in space. Thank you all so much, and I hope you enjoyed me. And if you liked my stuff, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and be sure to say hi to my family for me. And I hope that soon, when the vaccine comes, I will be back in Akron soon to say hello to you guys again. So happy Hanukkah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Marcia Belsky. Wow, that was awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for attending Temple Israel Akron's virtual comedy cafe, the lighter side of Hanukkah. Really appreciate it. Shabbat Shalom. Have a great weekend. And check us out on Facebook and YouTube and all the other channels. We'll see you soon.